Okay, so day 5. We're gonna head north today, up Ngkala Rocks, Indian, and I think all the way up to Cape and the lighthouse. So should be fun. Hopefully Nagala goes all good. Hopefully I don't get bogged, or Richard, and we get there before the queues. So we'll see how we go. Keep you updated. Already looks like there's a large lineup of cars. 9 o'clock Monday morning. It looks like it's the boys from 24/7 again. Okay, so we're here already. Not sure what's going on. There's cars lined up everywhere. Like the boys from 24/7 are going, and I put the camera on the front. So we're just stuck here at Indian. The boys from 24/7, the Maverick, or whatever the camper trailers are, he's well and truly embedded in. So they're obviously just trying to get in and out now. I think we're going to be here for a while. There's a fair lineup, a few on the other side as well. So we'll just play it by ear, see how we go. So just a quick little look around Indian. opportunity to just pause the video there for a second, and just going to run through what happens in the next couple of minutes. So getting through Ngkala Rocks wasn't an issue, nice and easy, just took our time, got through it. Just on the northern side of Ngkala Rocks there's the washout, and I suppose from that point on is where it probably turned a little bit pear-shaped. Okay, let's get into what happens. Richard takes off, seems to be doing it with ease. My first error, I'd probably go too early. Error number 2, for some unknown reason, Richard decelerates and comes to a stop. So at this point, I also should have stopped and reversed back down the hill. As I'm following Richard, I notice there's a small track off to the right hand side of him, and I'm powering on pretty well with no issues. So in my mind, I was just going to go around him, get to the top, and then come back and help him. So this is probably where our communication fell down, where I never got on the radio and explained or told Richard, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So I keep going on the course that I think I'm going to go. I get on the horn a couple of times thinking that this is going to let Richard know that I'm coming up on the outside of him. As I get basically towards the rear of his truck, he opens his door and I hit the brakes. I had 2 options: accelerate, take his door off, take Richard out, or stop. I chose to stop. So we dig Richard out, 20 minutes, half hour I suppose. Get him out, move him on. Now I'm stuck on a hill in the sand dunes with a narrow pass on the left hand side of me.
We'll give it one more go. Oh well. 10 months on the road.
So I decided to roll back down the hill a little bit, where it gives a wider path for cars to go past and enjoy the rest of their trip without being stuck behind us. Richard got over the top okay, and after letting all the cars go past, I tried to get out of where I was and wasn't going anywhere. So it's at this point it becomes a little bit sketchy, because as I'm rolling back down, the car's actually sliding a little bit to the right and towards that drop off. If you go back to the beginning of the washout area, you might notice a guy actually sits there and films people. He started calling out to me, stop, stop, stop. So it's from this point on that I probably needed to remove myself for a minute from the situation, take a breath. Unfortunately that didn't happen. All of a sudden you have 10, 15, 20 people around you. Everyone was there for the right reason, to try to help. So one of these guys who stopped to give me a hand or some advice and a hand, I think his name was Blake. Young guy, drives a patrol, and I think he got a few videos out at Skin Point where he's dragging people out of trouble all the time. Knowledgeable young guy, really helpful, and I really appreciate it. So while we're talking and working out, I suppose, a game plan of, you know, how we're going to hit this and where we're going to get me to, another guy comes through and with his patrol, comes up. I think he'd had enough of waiting, said he'll just snatch me up and we can all move on. So he's come through the rocks, and then the washout area, he's hit that at some speed and we've heard a crack, and he's landed, he's gone to accelerate again, and we've heard another crack. He's broken his CV joint, so he's had to reverse himself back out of the rocks. So Blake's gone off and got his car, brought it through the rocks, put himself in a position that he was comfortable with, put on our snatch recovery gear, and try to drag me out. He's only got 10 metres and dug it in there as well. So we tried this a few times with similar results. At this point, the boys from 24/7 are now down on the other side of the rocks waiting, and there's a crowd starting to build up. So I think it was Azza from Mitz Alloy, he come over, and also it might have been one of their camera crew. So we had a bit of a chat, decided to drop the tyre pressure a bit more. I think I was still running 15 at that stage, so we went down to about 10. And then Blake got me almost to the top before he bogged in.
Yeah, I was thinking come back there and load the maxes up and then I get a run off with the snatch. Right, I'll go back a bit, hold the snatch.
So as I've sat back and watched the footage, and you'll see it here, I've actually driven myself out without the recovery snatch even sort of engaging. So tyre pressure is a big key. So anyway, from there, unfortunately we haven't got much of the footage due to GoPro issues and the way it panned out. Blake had dug in up at the top of the hill again. He was almost at the top, but just couldn't quite get there. It was soft, it was chewed up by this stage. So we came up with the decision to unhitch. I'd reverse all the way back down to the rocks, past the drop-off. Blake would reverse back, and then just go individually. Blake did it with ease, and then I did it with pretty much ease as well. So I suppose what I'm trying to, the message across is take your time, breathe, probably remove yourself from the whatever shit situation you're in for a minute or two, evaluate where you're at, what you can do, what you can't do. Listen to people, because everybody's there to help you, but don't try to take on everybody's advice. So, Ngkala Rocks, it gets soft, it gets chewed up. Take your time. As I said in one of my first videos, take your time, enjoy it, drive safely, drive smartly. You're gonna have situations where it doesn't all play out the way we'd like. It's part of the experience. It's part of the learning. And as long as we all get out safely, car's still intact, we can have a laugh. We had a drink that night, we had a debrief, which I'll add to this video as well.
Evening.
Hi guys, how are you? So here with Richard from Outer Blues Touring. We've done Nagala, what else did we do? Up to Cape.
Up to Sandy Cape.
So start, where was it? Indy
Head.
Indy Head, into Nagala, up to Sandy Cape.
Yeah.
What was your take on the day?
It was good, yeah, until I got bogged.
So you got bogged.
Anyway, got me out pretty quick in about half an hour or so. Yeah, just, you know, let the throttle go down a bit and sunk in the sand, but got out with the max tracks and whatnot, so that was fine.
Yep.
And then, oh, what happened then?
Amateur here. So I've just watched the footage back, and I knew at the time when I did it, I went too early. I thought Richard had powered through and not realising how soft it was towards the top. So Richard got 2/3 of the way through. I've gone, okay, that's good, let's go. And then Richard stalled, got stuck in the sand.
Soft stuff, yeah.
I've continued, again, amateur mistake, which I've already said a bit earlier in one of my videos. Powering through, I was doing it fairly easy, and there's a little bit of a space on the right hand side of Richard. I thought I'll just shoot up the outside of him, and I'll get to the top and then we'll dig him out. Fortunately, we didn't have the communication we probably should have, and Richard went the hop out of his door, and I had two options: stop or take his door off.
I'm glad you stopped.
So I decided to stop, and then Richard, as I said, got himself out, and because of where I was, I rolled back a bit to let other cars go through, because where I'd stopped originally, if cars had gone through, there was a chance they could have bounced, side-swapped me.
Yeah, you're in a very precarious situation there.
So then when I've rolled back, I've probably put myself in a worse spot where I was 1.5 meters from a drop-off. So if I had no traction, then...
But luckily we had, there was another four-wheel driver by the name of Blake who came through and snatched Craig out of his predicament.
Yeah. So Blake, you'll see him a bit, I think, on some skip point videos where he's got that 4.2 patrol, and he just hammers everybody out of spots. So that was a bit interesting, because I've just watched the video back, and I've actually driven off before the snatch strap has engaged.
Yeah, probably should have taken the snatch straps off a little earlier. You both could have driven away, but they're still towing one another, and yeah, they kept bogging down. But look, it was very, very hot today. The sand was very soft. Obviously, we're not the only ones that got stuck out there. There are other people that got stuck. even while I was recovering, there's another couple in front of me that were recovering further up. So it was just one of those days. But it's all fun.
It's all part of the experience.
Yeah,
My
well-
first time here. Richard's been a couple of times.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, part of the experience. Took some knowledge on, learned a few things. That's all part of it. Still learning and developing myself. So yeah, that's a little bit of a, I suppose, a debrief on today.
No, it was good. Look, hey, the main thing is we made it up there. We made it back. We're safe and sound, and we got home just in time before high tide came. And
Just on high tide. How much salt water should you get on your car?
oh yes, I got a little bit today. Unfortunately, we were coming back, and the tide was coming in. So unfortunately, I got a little bit today. But
Yeah.
hey, we'll wash her up later. She'll be
All
good.
safe. We went down to the to Eli Creek and we gave it a good rinse as well.
Yeah.
We're back safe. We're having a laugh now. I was a bit frustrated earlier, but
Oh look, yeah.
it is what it is.
And the Nagala Falls is very cut up right now, so if you are over here, take it easy, take care, and definitely come with someone so you've got that extra person to help you out if you need to.
All right, cheers guys. It's getting a bit dark, so I'm not sure how good this footage is going to turn out. We'll have a look a bit later.